Before the world wakes, before the first light breaks across the sea, they are already moving. They are called Marines, warriors of land, air, and sea. When chaos erupts, when peace is shattered, when the world trembles, they are the first to stand and the last to retreat. The Marine Corps isn't just a branch of the military. It's an identity, one earned through pain, perseverance, and unshakable resolve. Every Marine carries the weight of centuries of honor, from the shores of Tripoli to the sands of Iwo Jima, from the jungles of Vietnam to the mountains of Afghanistan. The Marines have been America's sword and shield. But beyond the battles and the medals lies something greater, a brotherhood, bound not by blood, but by belief. A belief that freedom is worth fighting for. A belief that courage is stronger than fear. This is the untold story of the United States Marine Corps, forged by war, defined by sacrifice, the first to fight, and the last to leave, November 10, 1775. In a small tavern in Philadelphia, a handful of men raised their hands and swore an oath to defend a nation not yet fully born. From those few, the United States Marine Corps was born. They were seafaring soldiers trained to strike swiftly from ship to shore, to fight anywhere the tides would carry them. Through centuries of conflict, their legacy deepened. The Barbary Wars, the Civil War, World War I and World War II, each generation carried the same grit, the same cry: send in the Marines. When all else failed, when the situation seemed impossible, America turned to them. And they answered, always. They fought on beaches, in cities, through jungles and deserts. And they never forgot who they were, guardians of the nation's spirit. The Marines' mission has always been simple, but absolute. Be ready to fight anywhere, anytime. Whether it's storming beaches under enemy fire, rescuing civilians from hurricanes, or standing guard on distant shores, the Marines go where others cannot. Not because they seek war, but because they understand peace has a price. Every Marine is forged in fire. Their journey begins in places like Parris Island or San Diego boot camp. 13 weeks of relentless pressure, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Where sleep is a luxury and weakness is not an option. Drill instructors strip away everything a recruit once was: the comfort, the ego, the fear, until nothing is left but raw potential. Every obstacle course, every shouted order, every drop of sweat has a purpose: to build not just a soldier, but a warrior who will never break. They learn to move with precision, to think under chaos, to rely on instinct and training when the world turns to fire around them. But the hardest battles are not against the enemy, they're against themselves. Against doubt, against exhaustion, against the voice inside that says I can't, until one day they realize they can. When they finally stand at attention, sweat and tears dried by pride, and the eagle, globe, and anchor is pressed into their hand, everything changes. That moment is not a graduation, it's a rebirth. They are no longer civilians, they are Marines. And they carry that title forever. To wear the uniform is an honor, but to live as a Marine, that's a lifetime commitment. The Marine Corps is more than a military force. It's a brotherhood and a family. The bond between Marines is unbreakable. It's built in the fire of shared struggle, in the mud, in the rain, under fire side by side. They eat together, bleed together, fight together, and if fate demands, they fall together. Every Marine, no matter rank or role, is taught 3 sacred values: honor, courage, commitment. Honor to hold yourself to the highest standard, even when no one's watching. Courage to face the impossible and move forward anyway. Commitment to your team, to your mission, and to your country. These values aren't printed on posters. They're lived every day by those who wear the uniform. From combat zones to humanitarian missions, Marines are always the first to arrive and the last to leave. They build schools, deliver food, protect the helpless, and bring hope in the darkest moments. Because being a Marine isn't about taking life. It's about defending it. The battlefield is chaos, noise, fear, fire. But in that chaos, the Marine stands firm, calm, focused, ready. From the jungles of Vietnam to the city streets of Baghdad, Marines have carried one sacred creed: no one left behind. They fight not for medals, not for glory, but for the Marine next to them. The sound of bullets, the smell of smoke, the weight of armor. Every heartbeat becomes a promise. I've got your back. When the dust settles and silence falls, the Marines count not victories, but brothers who didn't return. Every name engraved on a memorial is more than a soldier. It's a story, a sacrifice, a reminder that freedom is never free. And for those who come home, the battle doesn't always end. They carry the memories, the faces, the voices, the losses for life. Yet through it all, they remain faithful. Because being a Marine means standing strong, even when the world feels heavy. It means never giving up, never giving in. Semper Fidelis, always faithful. For nearly 250 years, the United States Marine Corps has stood as a symbol of courage, resilience, and sacrifice. From generation to generation, the torch has been passed from the old guard to the new. Every Marine knows that one day, they'll hang up the uniform. But they'll never lose what it gave them: pride, purpose, and an unbreakable spirit. Their stories are written not just in history books, but in the hearts of those who witness their courage, in every act of kindness, in every act of bravery. The Marine Corps lives on in every person who swore an oath to protect what they love. Because once you become a Marine, you remain one forever. Once a Marine, always a Marine, the first to fight, the last to leave. Semper Fidelis, always faithful. This is not just a motto. It's a way of life. It's what makes them Marines.